And we pour in our chocolate mix. It worked! There it is, job finished. Buongiorno, Saturday today, and I'm making a cake for tomorrow, Sunday, when the family is coming round. Will be a chocolate spread cake, and with a slightly different touch, as I will be making a Tortellino chocolate cake. Hopefully you will enjoy it. We'll start by breaking a couple of eggs into a bowl. And we start whisking them. We add a couple of 100 grams of sugar progressively. Some vegetable oil. A couple of milliliters of semi-skimmed milk. Gradually we add some flour. This is self-raising flour, a couple of 100 grams. Next we're going to be adding some cocoa. This is bitter cocoa, 40 grams. Yes, it will go everywhere. And I've got here 1 teaspoon of baking powder, as I'm using self-rising flour. If you're using plain flour, you can use 15 grams of baking powder. Turn it off, thank God, so noisy. With a knob of butter, I will be greasing my cooking tin. This is already lined with non-greasy sticky material, but I always make sure that I do some extra just in case, you never know. And add a little flour at the bottom. And we pour in our chocolate mix. Make sure that you scrape every single drop. We'll put this in a preheated oven at 180 degrees for 40 minutes. I have produced a little budget for this cake, and I aim to do something similar for future recipes where possible. This presentation here shows the cost of the cake in total, and you've got on the left hand side a picture which shows that it costing me £4.32, and that will do 8 people, and the cost per portion would be 54 pence. I think it's pretty good. On the other side you will see there is a little graph showing the cost for each ingredient, including cost of electricity, which is in red, as is the only non-food item. Mascarpone is £1.80, 250 grams. Tab is the most expensive item of the recipe, and everything else is listed in ascending order. It is important that these are the costs for each for the cake, and not necessarily to buy the ingredients as a whole. So the minimum investment that you require is also listed on the description below. So as an example, I'm listing Nutella, but you cannot buy 3 teaspoons or 3 spoons of Nutella. You need to buy the jug. So I've listed the cost of the jug in terms of what you have as an investment, and then what you're using for the cake. In our case, I will have to hide it, because if Julie finds the jug of Nutella, it will be gone. The other thing I wanted to say is also where I get this cost from. Rather than sticking to the supermarkets that we use, I've actually used a comparison website for all supermarkets, so that we eliminate any discrepancies between regions. So these are national prices that are average national prices, which should be the same regardless where you live. I live in Norfolk, but equally well if you were to live in London or Birmingham, Manchester, whatever, it should not make any difference. So hopefully that is helpful and will be handy for future. The cake is out of the oven, has finished cooking, has developed this little Etna looking like sort of mountain, which is not what I was aiming, but it's quite useful for what I need to do next. To now that to test that it's done, what I do, I put a little skewer in the middle, in the tallest part, and you pour it out, and as long as there is no chocolate or no cake, depending on what you're making, left, you will know that it's cooked. In this particular case, it's cooked. What we will do, we will let it cool down for a few minutes before we will do the decorative part and the filling with the mascarpone. So we start by pouring a tub of mascarpone in a clean container, the same container which I just cleaned, and also I'm adding 3 tablespoons of chocolate spread, Nutella in this case, and this is approximately 80 grams of Nutella, and we fold it together. I have actually left the Nutella and the mascarpone out for approximately half an hour so that they become a little bit easier to work. We now remove the cake from the tin. We can see that has cooked very nicely. With a bread knife, we will slice it in half. You might not know, but Nutella was created during the Second World War by a guy called Pietro Ferrero. He was a pastry maker, and the amount of cocoa during the Second World War was limited, and to make it go further, he decided to crush hazelnuts and add it to the cocoa, and there it goes. Started the magic of Nutella. I will be adding some milk to the bottom of the cake. This will add moisture to the cake overall. I would do the other side as well, but I think I'm a little bit scared that it might break into pieces, so I'll just be a little bit more generous on this side. We add our mascarpone and Nutella together. This is quite a fun cake. Again, something I strongly recommend you make with your children, especially in view of the next part. And now, very carefully, we put the top on. Be broken, but it will taste wonderful, I'm sure. We now start with the artwork. If you take a look at what I was up to last night, you will see what is coming. Here it is. So I decided to make it a little bit prettier and to use the Tortellino branding. So we're gonna be plonking Sicily somewhere, maybe here. We put our little friend who looks more like Pinocchio with the donkey's ears in the middle, and very patiently, not as patiently as cutting them, we will put the Tortellino word on top of the cake. I'm sure that if you did this with your children, they would love it. I am loving it. We don't want tortellino, we want tortellino. Thank you very much. We give it a shot and hopefully it will all go to plan. This is icing sugar, of course. I want to make sure that I cover everything to give the maximum effect. If I remove maybe little tortellino first and see what happens. Oh yes, there it is. To his hat. So I've got some gel here. Smells nice. It's very sweet. I have not included the cost of the gel in the recipe, of course, because this is a personal, private choice. I'm making the Italian flag colors. Put some red. Now we need to give his hat some shape. I've got a drawing here. Now we move on to the island of Sicily. There it is. Talking of Nutella, I grew up with Nutella. As a little boy, Nutella was something we used to eat a lot of, and in my family it's something that we actually not very healthier now, but we used to have it most days, almost like a tradition, where after lunchtime any leftover bread we would have with some Nutella. My brother Stefano, he was absolutely mad about it. I think even to this day, not necessarily every day, but I've seen him occasionally at the end of a meal, if there is a loose piece of bread left over, he'll go in the cupboard and get a jar of Nutella and make himself some pane e Nutella. And when I got together with Julie, that was one of the things that she discovered, Nutella, and she got into the habit of having pane e Nutella at the end of every meal. I'll give you an interesting fact about Nutella. It takes approximately 50 hazelnuts to make 300 grams of Nutella. Did you know that? Oh, this is new territory. I wonder if I can do something with the top of the heart. Like this. I want to spread some of this color. By the way, this is supposed to be the trinacria, which is this thing in the middle. Trinacria is the symbol of Sicily. I think that's good enough. I'm not gonna tinker with it anymore. Now the magic moment is to try and find the letters. Oop, that's the one. There's another one. It worked. I know it's not the most pretty, but it's the only one in the world. Of that I'm sure. We'll give it a little wipe. Here, now you get the gist of what I'm trying to achieve. Not perfect, but a good effort. Clearly we will not be eating the paper, but I cannot resist it. There you go. And I'm sorry, but I didn't like the black overall, so I decided to make him a little bit more realistic. There you go. That's much better. There it is, job finished. Not the most elegant, but I'm sure it will be delicious. And it is unique. Do engage with your children doing something similar. It is really, really fun, and I am sure it will taste delicious. Thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed, I'm turning the camera. Thank you for watching, and thank you for following me, for those who have subscribed already. If you haven't and you like what I am doing, please do subscribe. There is a lot of more coming in the future. I will be moving also into a kitchen in my own little office in the garden, which is properly made for Tortellino, and lots of ideas and lots of fun to come. Thank you, and have fun, and ciao ciao for now. Bye.